be looking at. And also, the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers are holding a press briefing this morning. And, you know, anytime you hear unions and press briefings, there can only be one conversation. It's about money, AIDS, employment, and that. So part of one news cycle that we're covering for you across the country today. And also to introduce our sign language interpreter, bottom left of your screen is Susan Thuku. Straight into our first conversation. And, you know, Kenya is going to be co-hosting CHAN. The opening ceremony is on the 2nd of August in Dar es Salaam. The final is going to be played in Nairobi on the 30th. Are going to be used in Kenya, the Nyayo National Stadium, Moi International Sports Center, which in Kenya, you will simply say Kasarani and the message is hope. And to talk about that is the chair of the Kenya Local Organizing Committee of the event, Nicholas Musonye. Bwana Musonye, welcome.
Thank you very much.
And, you know, for you, there's a story that, you know, I want you to put out so that people can really understand the intensity of preparing for a competition like this. 2015, Morocco withdrew from hosting the Africa Cup of Nations. Yes. CAF got into an agreement. Equatorial Guinea said, we are going to do it for you. So you left here in December. Yes. You came back sometime, you know, just after, almost towards the end of February. What's the intensity, you know, especially from that event, about preparing for an event, you know, within that short notice and with a lot of work to be done?
Thank you very much, my friend, Wahome. And I'm happy to be in KPC,
yes,
to talk to Kenyans about what we are doing and our level of preparations. Actually, to organize a tournament of this nature requires a lot of work and a lot of resources. So really, what the government has done first is to ensure that there's an environment that the tournament can be held, both Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania. All the three countries.
Okay, we'll be coming to that, but just give us the intensity story.
The intensity of organizing this competition is massive. You need to have dedicated people to come out of their cocoons and work day and night to ensure that things are in place. In terms of operations, the intensity is so massive because we have 13 committees that you must put together and work as a team. So it has not been very easy, and it is still not very easy to put these teams together and move forward in one direction. So it is a very intensive exercise.
Okay, so let's now come to, you know, there is that story I just want you to give about, you know, the Equatorial Guinea story.
Yeah.
Because I think that was one of the most intense for you.
Yes, I was one of the general, I've been in CAF, I was in CAF for 20 years. And I was a general coordinator for 8 AFCONs.
Yes.
And 3 CHANs. So the issue of Equatorial Guinea in 2013, I think.
2015.
2015.
Yes.
We were poised to go to Morocco for AFCON, actually. It was AFCON, not CHAN.
Yes.
Then because of Ebola in the Congo and parts of Gabon, Morocco pulled out because the 2 countries had qualified. So Morocco said, you cannot bring your Ebola to Morocco. So they said, we are not hosting this competition. So the former president of CAF, Issa Hayatou, who was a close friend of the president of Equatorial Guinea, they are neighbors. He went to Gabon, Guinea, Equatorial, and they agreed with the president. In 2 weeks, I was told to go to Guinea to go and organize CHAN with other guys from CAF. So we went. We didn't have Christmas, we didn't have New Year. But Equatorial Guinea on their own were unable to host this event. So we had to go there and stay there for 2 months to ensure that everything was in place. And indeed, they organized the event. It was very intensive also. That was one of the best experience I've had working on crash program. It was not very easy. Yes.
And so that means you've got the knowledge, 8 major competitions that, you know, AFCONs plus 3 CHANs. Yeah. And so let's talk about this. When the Pomoja bid was put out, and, you know, the one thing that, you know, they always come and do, I think the first box we always tick is hospitality.
Yes. Actually, the main reason and why I'm happy about where we are now and the element that has given us the edge to organize this competition is the hospitality of this country and the region as a whole. Kenya has what it takes, virtually in everything: hotel, manpower, roads, airports, we have everything. So in terms of hospitality, CAF had no issue with us at all. In fact, they were saying quietly, why can't Kenya alone host this event? But we told them, look, we are a democratic society. We also share with others so that we are not selfish and greedy. So in terms of hospitality, Kenya has done very well. We have hotels of first class in this country. I was telling someone on Friday last week and even over the weekend, if you want hotels in Africa and you want to have hospitality well coordinated, come to Kenya. Nairobi alone is enough to host any conference, any competition in Africa. So we have hospitality, we have the airport, and we have the manpower. You know, we must be proud as a country. Kenya's manpower is #1 in Africa, and we must appreciate it. You go to some countries, you can't even get 2 people who can write English. Many countries, but in Kenya here, even the smallest woman in the village speaks English, which means there is some level of education in this country. So we have enough manpower that can do anything.
Yes, and when we talk about manpower, let me come to that, because this event, for anybody who has covered, you know, an Africa Cup of Nations, a World Cup or anything, there are people who work in different things. The people who put in, they come in the, you know, the volunteer cohorts that you do get.
Yeah.
And what are some of the things that you have seen? Because you have seen with these young people, they speak several languages.
Yes.
You'll find somebody who speaks 5 languages, but if you speak with them, they'll just play around with their Sheng, but they can speak 5.
Yes.
How have you been able to bring in this?
We have a volunteers workforce committee, which we have entrusted with the responsibility of getting the best volunteers. Volunteers who have an idea about the media, volunteers with actually training in medical matters, volunteers who have trained in terms of management and leadership, all those, hospitality. So the volunteers workforce committee has done all that, and the selection was done online, and it was open, because there's nothing that we want to go to do underground. So we have got the best, even the interpreters, because we have Morocco speaks French.
Yes.
We have guests who speak French and Arabic, Spanish. So we have all those volunteers speaking those languages. So in terms of volunteers with various trainings and what have you, we have them. We are not worried at all. As I told you, we have manpower in this country, which we must use well.
And now I'll come to what has always been the elephant in the room. For the Republic of Kenya, 1996, Kenya was to host the Africa Cup of Nations. We did not have the right infrastructure. That tournament went down to South Africa. 2014, the same story, untold.
2018.
And also 2018, it also now went it went to Morocco. The infrastructure process and ensuring that, you know, all these things that are interesting enough are publicly available. CAF Stadium Manual are met.
Now, let me now explain to you. In 1996, CAF was only organizing AFCON for 8 teams, only 8. Kenya was given that chance. We were in the Congress. That time I was in Tunisia. Kenya was given the mandate to organize this tournament. For 6 years, they were told, organize this tournament. No, it was in Cote d'Ivoire.
In Cote d'Ivoire, yes.
1992. So we were told in 4 years, you have time to organize this competition. Kenya had Nyayo and Kasarani, built by Moi Daniel, the late president.
Yes.
So we came from Ivory Coast. We said, now we have a tournament we must organize. Nyayo to be renovated. CAF gave us specifications, same with Kasarani. For 4 years, we were unable to convince the CAF that we have infrastructure to host this competition. We had nothing outside Nairobi that we could say we are presenting this one as an alternative, apart from Nyayo and Kasarani. So when CAF came here last year, the last year of the event on 1995 August, they say these guys are not serious. They cannot organize this tournament. The political will was not there. The infrastructure was not there. CAF moved the tournament last minute to South Africa. On Kenya, that was question mark. So we stayed for long without bidding to host anything, CAF.
Yes.
So when I was in Sakafa, there was a meeting in Angola, and Plata was there. I presented the case of Kenya hosting CAF under 20. The president decided to say, the same Kenya or another one? I said, the same Kenya. He said, no, that bid of Kenya, leave it out. They cannot host.
That was at the
2010.
2010 Africa Cup of Nations,
yes,
which Angola hosted.
In Angola. So I was actually addressing the Congress on the preparation of our region, Sekafa. By then I was in Sekafa.
Yes.
So they told me, forget about that one. Kenya cannot host anything. So I came back very disappointed. Luckily enough, there was this Chan, we introduced Chan in CAF. So they said we need to look for countries that have not hosted AFCON. They can host Chan. Kenya put in their bid. They were granted in 2012
yes.
to host 2018. 6 years again, we were unable to renovate Nyayo and Kasarani. It was taken away. So let me now cut the story short. This bid pamoja of Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, it was crafted well. They convinced the new CAF president that we are able to organize this tournament. 3 of us, not 1. So we were granted. The question mark was always on Kenya. Are they able to commit themselves and fulfill their commitment? Infrastructure. Luckily enough, and I want to say it categorically, the current government has come out of their way to put infrastructure in place, to put training sites in place, and to show real commitment that they want to host this competition alongside Uganda and Tanzania. That's why if you go to Nyayo today, if you go to Kasarani, you will find the infrastructure we have now. You can't believe it. The amount of time and investment put in these 2 venues is impossible.
So let's talk first of all about the playing surface and the kind of grass that they do want and how they want it maintained. Just give us first an idea of that, because that cuts across all the training venue and the playing and the match venues.
You know, in the Nyayo and Kasarani, we had this Kikuyu grass, which has been used there for a long time. It's called Kikuyu grass. I don't know why they call it that way.
We know where it comes from.
We know where it comes from.
Actually,
Kiambu, I think, or Moranga.
Yes.
Something like that.
You will find it a lot in that land.
So, but the CAF standards and FIFA, they don't use Kikuyu grass because it needs a lot of work. So we had to uproot all of it from Nyayo and Kasarani and put there Bermuda. Bermuda is enduring. It can sustain pressure. So that's what we did. And if you go to Nyayo and Kasarani, you will be a very happy person to be part of that legacy that this government has put in place. 2 good venues that no one can challenge to host AFCON and CHAN. So the whole renovation exercise was so intense that even the changing rooms, the playing surface, and even the lounges in the 2 venues are first class. So a lot of investment has gone into it. And I want to thank the Department of Defense for coming in to support the contractors who are given the contracts to do those venues. They have done a very good job. I want to congratulate our armed forces for the job they have done to uplift our infrastructure.
And when CAF come and do the inspection, you know, they will come, they will also look at the dressing rooms, the support. There is what you would call the match personnel. You've got the doctors.
We have.
You have the general, for example, the general coordinator for every venue.
We have.
And all those rooms. How much work has gone into that? And to ensure that the requirements are there. For example, fridge, water, and all that.
If you come to the venues I've told you, you will find every dressing room is more magnificent than this studio. I'm telling you. If you go to our dressing rooms, they are more magnificent than this studio. We have fridges. We have ice bags. We have everything. We have TVs. Everyone has a locker to put in things there. Everything that the CAF wanted, look, you can see for yourself.
Yes.
So there is an overhaul of the whole venues. Now, even in Kasarani, we have the canopy. You sit there and enjoy football. which we shall do at the Nyayo after Chan.
Okay. Now, let me come to something else, specifically about the Nyayo National Stadium.
Yes.
And it was a very big test, especially for the local organizing committee who are observing the Kenya versus Gabon match.
Yes.
And CAF raised issues, especially about the perimeter fencing.
Yes.
Just give us, about the work that has gone there to ensure that Nyayo is now safety ticked.
CAF were here in June, and then they were saying, oh, the training site is good, but security, because the perimeter wall that was there was so short, anyone could jump and go through and enter Nyayo. Now, we have a new perimeter wall across, which was completed 2 weeks ago. Even those ones who master in climbing over high bars, they cannot do that. So it is secure now. Now Nyayo is secure. You cannot climb over and enter in the stadium. It's not possible. So that wall has been done.
Very, very well. And talking about the whole, because now that has got to do with the fans. Let's talk about, before we even come to the matters of the fans, let's talk about, the safety and security arrangement and how you zone out the stadium.
Now.
Because there is an area for broadcast,
Yes.
there is an area for medical,
Now,
and all of that.
I will talk about security. One of the elements that dictates CAF or FIFA to give us an opportunity to organize an event is security. Number one, the tournament must be secured. The fans must be safe. The equipment, TV and other equipment for the tournament and television must be secure. All these things have been put into context. The Ministry of Interior, Mr. Murukomen and his team with the PS, the Ministry of Sports, and the multi-agency team, they have put security as a major priority so that nothing goes wrong. This country and the region as a whole, we must protect our image as a country of peaceful people, a country that cares for others. So security is under control. And we have told our people in security units, make sure nothing goes wrong in our country and in Uganda and Tanzania. So we are working as a team, pamoja, to ensure that our borders are secure.
Yes.
Even if the government has waived the visa entry, we are still insisting that we must organize our security across the borders so that we don't just allow in anyone because of football to undermine our security. It cannot happen.
Good.
And we will not allow it to happen.
So how well do you, if for example, I wake up there, you go with the family and you want to go watch football, how will everyone identify, for example, the entry points? This is for spectators, this is for, say, a regular ticket, a VIP ticket, or VVIP ticket, according to how they're categorized, and their entry points.
We have a signage and a communication team who are now working on zoning the two venues. This parking for VIP, this entry for point ticket flat, this entry point for the people with disabilities. The signage team is working on that,
yes,
so that it is very clear where you are going. So that when you enter the stadium, you know exactly where you are going. You know exactly where you're going to sit. We are not going to have an amber element of doing things. No, we are going to be organized. We are organized in a way that the stadium is well marked. People with these cards, this is where they go. People with these tickets, this is where they go. So it is going to be very clear. We will not allow confusion and disorder in the two venues. We will not allow that. We want to be organized. And we are liaising with Uganda and Tanzania so that when there is order in Nairobi, there must be order also in Uganda and Tanzania. Because the same people who will be watching football here, they will also be traveling to Uganda and Tanzania to watch football there as well.
Now there's a culture, and I saw it during that Kenya-Gabon game, and the team that tried their best to control them. There are these people who move around VIPs. I'm not talking about their close protection officers, but wale watu wanatembea.
I know what you are talking about. We have, this is a country where we live with the politicians all around.
Yes,
it's our life. Kenya is a political country. You come to the stadium as a politician, you want to come with some few people around you. We have said, please come with your ticket. We know to allow 1 or 2 bodyguards, because we must also protect our leaders.
Yeah.
We can't just allow them to walk freely. We need to protect them as well. But it's going to be controlled. Like VIP Nyayo is small.
Yes.
So we have told our security team to ensure that people who enter there are controlled, and even their security detail is also controlled. But they must be secured also. We can't just allow that our ministers or our senior government officials to be left loose.
Yes.
So we don't want that to happen. That's part of the security that we are talking about. Organized security, so that everyone is secure and safe.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, the other one that I want to talk about is, there are people with superstitious beliefs. I can only enter the stadium from the right side or the left side. How do you then manage that?
Now, that superstition it will not happen when I'm there, because I don't believe in it. So unasema uchawi?
No, si wale wanasema hii ni upande yetu, hii ni upande wale.
Mambo ya uchawi. I don't believe in that. If your entry point is A, it is A. If it is B, it is B. So if you tell me that my witch doctor told me not to go through here, I will tell you that witch doctor has cheated you. Go and pick that money you gave him. It's not going to work. So it's not going to be there.
Yeah, so
it won't be there.
But at least you understood.
We will follow our protocol as laid down.
So, and the other one that I want to talk about is usually the vehicle access, especially for a venue like Nyayo, which is not huge.
Yes.
Kasarani has got a lot of parking space.
A lot of space, yes.
But how would you advise anybody going to watch, especially with transport arrangements? Because there are cars which will be allowed through particular gates. Others.
Nyayo Stadium parking is small, but we have opened the parking behind that Kuche Kuche restaurant. So you know where it is?
Yes.
Behind Kuche Kuche, there is enough parking, which can accommodate the teams playing in Nyayo, because most of the big matches will be in Kasarani, where Kenya is playing. So the beauty about Nyayo, the venue is small and the parking is not adequate enough, but the matches won't attract much people like Kasarani. So what we have in Nyayo is still adequate to accommodate the number of vehicles that we expect, having opened the other parking behind Kuche Kuche.
Very well, and as you can see, everything is organized and you will be directed. And remember that given that Nyayo is going to be hosting the other matches involving Group A, all of Kenya's matches will be played at the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani, 3 p.m. with the exception of one that's at 7 p.m.
Yeah, one.
With the exception of one that's at 7 p.m. And remember, if you don't get a ticket to go to Kasarani, you watch it on KBC Channel 1. We shall be live together with our radio stations. Yes. So let us now come to the teams and their preparations. We know that a decision was made, so there was a change for one team, Congo Brazza now.
Yes.
Are now in, but just give us about the whole protocols about teams coming in and how they are handled.
That was one of the challenges we faced, because CAF was saying, according to the protocols, we must waive visas. That was the challenge number one. How the teams will come in, how spectators from Congo, Nigeria, Morocco will come in without any difficulties. So we talked to our Minister for Sports, Mr. Mvurya, to talk to his counterparts in Uganda and Tanzania, and to liaise with the immigration departments in each country, which he did. Actually, he's the chairman of the ministers of the region, the oversight.
Yes.
So our minister is the chairman of that group. So he has mobilized that element, and actually we got a visa waiver last week. So all people coming to watch CHAN will enter free to Uganda, to Kenya, Tanzania, and back, and all round. So that one was a challenge, which we have now sorted out.
Yes.
Now, the other thing is the protocols at the airports, because that's another challenge that we may face. If people are coming in large numbers, how prepared are we? Our protocol and hospitality team, together with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we have formed a committee that will deal with that element, that aspect of arrivals and departures. It is a very complicated problem, but we deal with it because we have people capable in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs whom we are working with. And within our LOC, we also have people capable who have experience to deal with the arrivals and departures. So those protocols are in control. We are in control.
team movements, especially now when it comes to where they train. Because, you know, the training venues, we've got Annex Police, Ulinzi, Ulinzi. How then do you manage this? And for example, if we have a Nigerian who is in Kenya and would want to see Nigeria train ahead of their final Group D match that's going to be played in Nairobi.
We have a procedure. First of all, maybe let me explain. Every team will be attacked with escort.
Yes.
You understand? All the time. Whether you're going for training, whether you're going for the day of the match, you will be attacked with an escort so that to allow you easy movement. For fans who want to work their teams in the training sites, there is limited time. We only give about 10 minutes, then the stadium is closed, or the venue is closed for the team to have their privacy to train without interference.
Yes.
So that one we will manage.
That one hits even the media.
Yeah, even the media will be given space to interview the team before the training. Then they leave the team to have their own session without people being around to work them. So that's allowed as per the CAF protocol. It's allowed. So we'll arrange all those things.
Actually, now, when it comes to match day, because I remember some qualifiers, I think just over 10 years back, something was implemented in this country that shook the football fans. Is that access to the stadium is not random. You don't come in at, say a game is at 3 o'clock, you come in at 2:58 and you want to get in. What are the restrictions that are in place about that?
We have asked CAF, and we are liaising with that department on that line to sell tickets online. So that if, like Wahome yourself,
yes,
you buy your ticket on Friday and the match is on Saturday, you know you are secure. We are saying, if you don't have a ticket, don't come near the stadium. It is bad manners. And we want to cultivate a culture of good manners in this country, where we say, you have your ticket, you come to stadium. If you don't have a ticket, watch it on TV.
Chaniko KBC, that is where you'll watch it.
Watch it on KBC, our oldest channel in East Africa, isn't it?
Yes.
So
correct.
We are saying, buy your ticket early and come and watch the game. Don't come to stadium without a ticket.
That is a no-go zone.
Is a no-go zone. And our security people, we have told them, deal with that matter so that we don't want to cause confusion around the venue. If you don't have a ticket, don't come. Come when you have a ticket and go and get your seat.
Now, you've mentioned about that, and stewards, this is going to be the image of how well we take care of people besides hospitality on match day.
Yeah.
What's the education that has been given to the stewards by the safety and security team?
We are doing, actually, security team we have a series of trainings and workshops which you are starting tomorrow. We have stewards about 1,000 which you are training tomorrow, the whole week, from tomorrow, the whole week. We have volunteers as well, because as you put it, the stewards and the volunteers are the ones who carry the image of this country, because they are the ones who are in the front line, plus our security teams, police,
yes,
GSU, commandants of various units. That is they will give us the true image of this country, because we want a country like Kenya to remain on top of the rest in Africa. We have what it takes. Our security teams are very organized. We want it to be one of the best organized security operations in this region. Because if security collapses, the whole tournament is in jeopardy. We don't want that to happen, and we will not allow it to happen. Our stewards will be trained, they'll be given the manuals to work with, the same with the volunteers. We want to have them trained properly so that they know their roles.
Well, and I want to come to something else now. A lot, questions that are being asked from, and everyone was asked, the inclusion of the Aman Stadium,
yes,
in Zanzibar. Just give us the story of that.
I know you want to portray that we were denied.
No,
no, it is not true. I know what people think about that one, that Kenya had been given 2 groups, isn't it?
There is that conversation that's also there.
Where? where in the CAF communication was it indicated that Kenya is going to host 2 groups? It is the imagination of Kenyans that you being a big country. Of course we are.
We are. Yeah.
We are going to be given 2 groups. No, this is a Pamoja bid, bringing together the 3 East African countries with Zanzibar, with the semi-autonomous,
yes,
and part of Tanzania having a venue. So we said, let's spread these matches, because this is a Pamoja bid for all of us in East Africa. That's why one group went to Zanzibar, one group went to Dar es Salaam, one group went to Kampala, and the other group here. So we have spread this competition as a Pamoja bid. No one was denied anything. Nothing was robbed from us. That is what Kenyans must know. And that's why, because of our capacity, we are organizing the final.
Yes. Everyone would have loved to see that, I mean, for the country to set the tone.
So for us to organize the final, that's a plus. As a country who is organizing the climax of the event, final.
Yes.
It is Kenya. So if you say we were robbed, it's not true. That's a lie. Na hiyo ndio vitina that we must get out of our way. Now, for us to organize a good final, Harambee Stars must work hard to be there. How do you organize a final and your team is not there? So we are asking Kenyans, rally behind our national team to reach the final, the way we did in 1987.
The all African
Games. Isn't it?
Yeah. I hope we don't have to put the lights out at Nyayo again.
We have generators all over. Nothing will go wrong. We have generators apart from the power normal.
So that's a whole backup. And one, I know you've got a very important meeting. I want you to make a call out to the people of Kenya and at large, the people of East Africa about this tournament. And given that your experiences, I mean, you've covered 11 high-level CAF events, and I think 2 FIFA events that came. 3 FIFA events.
I've done 3 FIFA.
3 FIFA events that have come to Africa. You've been involved.
I've done even one in Germany.
And one in Germany, Nigeria. We know there's Nigeria, there's South Africa, and the under 20.
FIFA under 20 in Egypt.
In Egypt.
Yeah, about 5 or so.
So with all this, the experience you've seen and what we need to do to deliver this, because 2 years from now, we'll be doing the AFCON.
Yes, we'll be doing the AFCON. Now, my prayer and is my appeal to my fellow Kenyans. First of all, we must congratulate our government for giving us this opportunity to host this event. It's a rare opportunity. It may, in a lifetime, it may come once. So it is an opportunity that has come. We must harness whatever that is around it and promote it in the best interest of our country. 2, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. Tourism is a big factor that contributes heavily to our economies. We want to use this tournament to promote tourism in the region in general and Kenya in particular, because that's a main source of revenue, foreign currency. So if things go wrong, we destroy our economy. That's why we say security must be tight. Our hospitality must go a notch higher to attract investment, to attract tourists. And this only way to do that is to go to stadium and back the national team to reach the final. On the side of security, as I've said, we are in the right hands. Our Ministry of Interior, the Ministry of Sports, working very closely, and other departments, East African community and all that, to ensure that people are secure, the teams are secure, the players are safe, and everyone, all stakeholders are safe.
Yes.
So I want to ask Kenyans to believe in their country. I want to ask Kenyans